Good evening, everyone. I am Vibha, and on behalf of the entire Fit Indian team, I welcome you all to this webinar. As we know, COVID-19 is going on, and it has forced us to sit in our homes and work from home, which is creating many health complications. So in this webinar, we are going to discuss on what are those health complications and how they are impacting our health and in what ways we can prevent them. So let me first introduce you to our speakers. Our speakers of the webinar are Devi Gajendran and Hana Seham. Devi Gajendran is a senior nutritionist with the Fit Indian. She is a postgraduate in foods and nutrition with 13 years of experience in the field of nutrition and fitness. She holds the expertise in nutrition counseling, planning therapeutic diets, weight loss diets with fitness and nutrition. Hana Seham is also working as a nutritionist with the Fit Indian. She is also postgraduate in nutrition and dietetics. She holds 2 years of experience in the field of nutrition and dietetics, and she has the expertise in nutrition counseling, clinical nutrition, fitness and medical nutrition therapy. Welcome Hana and welcome Devi.
Hi all, good evening. I'm Devi here. Welcome you all to this webinar. I hope you will have an informative session. At the end of the session, we'll be having a question answer session where you can drop your question in the chat box, which will be answering. Once again, I welcome you all to the webinar.
So, hello everyone. I'm Hana Seham. Welcome to today's webinar.
Thank you, Hana and Devi. Talking about this webinar, so in this webinar, we are going to understand in detail what are the health complications that working from home is bringing to us. Are these health complications really serious? Is there any way to prevent them while being at home? And we'll study it comprehensively. This webinar is going to cover all the necessary topics related to nutrition, physical and mental health basics. So I would welcome all your friends and family members also. If you want to share this link with them also, they are also invited to join this. Well, talking about the agenda of the webinar, this webinar is going to focus on the following details: benefits of working from home, what are the challenges that we are facing from working from home, what are the basic health complications that working from home is giving us, what are the ways to overcome those possible health complications, how we can maintain physical and mental fitness while working from home. So here onwards, I would hand over mic to Devi and Hana. I would suggest you all, if you have any queries, kindly drop them in the chat box. At the end of the webinar, we will answer your all queries. So Devi and Hana, you can proceed now. Thank you.
Thank you, Vibha. So first we'll see the benefits of working from home. What is the first benefit? Is the less stress. Less stress is when we are working from home, there is no need to wake up early, pack your things and rush to office. And the work is also going to be more productive because you're going to do the work at your own pace. Own pace in the sense, not the work is going to be very slow, at your own timings. You create a flexible timing. For example, in office, you sit in an office for 9 to 5 timings or 10 to 6, for example, any 8 to 9 hours. But at home, what we'll stretch the work timings throughout the day, taking in between breaks as per our own flexible timings. So when you work as per your wish and timings, the work productivity is obviously going to be more. And also when you work from home, the traveling time is going to be saved. This traveling time we'll try to put into a very collective, useful work with the family or with the work. And when you work from home, you have a quality of time. Quality of time in the sense, for example, you eat lunch together with your family every day. When you go to office, it doesn't happen. It happens once in a blue moon, maybe in the weekends. And in the weekends also, if you're occupied, it's not going to happen. So maximum in the dinner also, I don't think everybody will be in a mood after so much of work stress to discuss or chat with the family members. We finish our lunch and go to bed. This work from home has helped us to build a relationship with the family and understand each other. And environment setting. You can be more comfortable setting your environment at your own pace. In office, you are given a desk and a chair which you have to sit. You're comfortable or not, you have to sit in that position. But at home, you can change it, which will obviously increase your productivity and also eases your stress. Next, we'll see about the challenges we are facing.
So, while we have seen how work from home is opening up a new range of possibilities for the way that businesses can work and structure themselves, we also understand that there's a downside to it. So let us look at the challenges that we face while working from home. So the first challenge that we face is skipping meals. While working from home, we get so engrossed in our daily work that we tend to skip our meals. It may be that we are so caught up with a project and we realize suddenly that we haven't eaten anything. So keeping your meal pattern in check can be tough when your home is your office. So because your timing at home and office differs, then you take things very casually and you tend to skip your meals, and you're very engrossed with the project that you have to complete your project and get up after completing it. So this is one problem that we face. And at home we do not realize the duration of time that has passed by. So it's always better to coordinate your timings at home with your office timings. Another problem that we face is the right working space. So when we work in the same space that we live in, it can be easy to for us to get disorganized and disoriented. So the environment that we work in can directly affect our work. A wrong kind of workspace can basically lead to distraction. So we may get distracted from work if there is too much noise around us. So it's very important to have a peaceful work environment, which is very necessary for us to carry out our tasks in an effective manner. So when there is a peaceful environment and we get the right working space, the productivity increases. So when there is no proper equipment like we have at our offices that we see while working from home, there is no motivation and our confidence decreases. There's no proper lighting, so we tend to feel sleepy and tired, which definitely creates a lot of complications. So a dedicated workspace is the most important element for us to stay focused and active while working from home. Another problem that we see is less physical activity. Now, we have seen that our level of physical activity has decreased significantly. So one big problem that we face while working from home is inactivity. So not commuting to the office every day, excessive sitting and remaining in one posture for hours together can have an adverse effect on the muscles of your back, your neck, your hip flexors, hamstrings and calves. So when we have a busy workload, most of us sit for as long as possible until the task is done. So we don't realize that the time has passed by, and we get up feeling sluggish and we experience body aches. So low levels of physical activity is associated with a very high risk of developing diseases. One of the most common problems that we face these days is unreliable internet connections. So we see that the Wi-Fi signals at home are unreliable, and then the internet speed may be slow, and we might face many issues. So this might slow down the productivity of work, and we also face things like low quality video calling, and the software programs that we use might also be of low quality. And there are like technical problems that we face where you are on your own and you have to solve those problems, unlike in office where we have people to support us and help us with our day-to-day tasks. So a lot of us also feel isolated and left out because of less social interaction. We don't meet people face to face like we used to every day, like when we were in office. So we feel physically isolated and emotionally disconnected. So this lack of social interaction may leave us feeling lonely, and loneliness can probably worsen our mental well-being. There are a lot of health issues that we face when we do not interact much with people, and it can lead to depression, anxiety and stress. And the risk of diseases that we develop can be high. The quality of sleep, it might also affect our quality of sleep, and then there might be a feeling of fear, negative self-esteem, and our work performance will also get affected, and we also start to feel low. So it's very important to address these challenges that we face while working from home.
The other challenges we face is just like boredom. Why we feel boredom? It's an environment which we like. In spite of that, why we feel boredom? It's because like when you work from home, you don't wake up early in the morning. You wake up at your own pace and just directly start your office work. So since you do, it will be very nice when you do for 15-20 days. But over the time, the same environment, same people, you will feel boredom because there is no connection between your external world with the people outside. You see with the same family members, you can discuss certain things to the family members, but you still want to see other people. The boredom sets in because of the same routine has been fixed. You wake up, you do the office work, you eat your lunch, and then you sleep. There is no connection with you with the outside world. Next, excess of workload. This excess of workload is invariably we take it and others also give it. This is because we don't have a stipulated work hours when we work from home. When there's a calls at 9, we take it. When it's 10, we take it because it's all working from home. But we have to define it. And the extra work hours we stretch it because in office we have it a rigid timings of 9 hours or 10 hours. But at home, since we take a long breaks in between, we try to extend our work hours. Invariably, it becomes a 12 to 13-hour work hours in our home, though you work only for 9 hours. So these all things contribute to the boredom and communication coordination challenges when you want to get your task done with your colleagues. You have to connect over the phone, some meeting calls, where you have to communicate with other people to get your work done. But when you're in office, you meet face to face, and the work gets done quickly. This indirectly affects your efficiency of work. Next, we don't have when you work from home, though we say I'm staying at home always, we don't have a clear definition between a personal time and a professional life. We mix up both, which eventually in the long run will cause a stress without any reason. We doesn't know what is the underlying cause for it, but these are the causes for you to have health outcomes, which one of it is the stress.
So when we've seen the challenges that we face while working from home, we can have a look at the possible health complications that we face while working from home. So the most important issue that most people address and face is back pain. So when we're sitting for hours together in one place working continuously, we tend to strain ourselves too much. So sitting in one position might affect our body, and it might cause a lot of pains in our body. So we also understand that when you are working from home, the workstation is not proper, as good as it usually is at office. So this creates an imbalanced asymmetric position, which can lead to overly used and tight muscles of your neck and shoulders, which will cause pain. So it's very important to maintain a proper posture for reducing the back pain. Another health complication that we face is the vision problems. So sitting in front of the screen for long hours can make your eyes tired, itchy, dry, and it can take a toll on your eyesight. So a lot of people just sit in front of their screens working continuously, and when the lighting is also not proper, and they might face symptoms like blurry vision, double vision, which will ultimately lead to your eyesight becoming improper, and might also lead to headaches and other complications. Another issue is overweight and obesity, which is very important to be addressed here, because while we are working from home, we don't commute to the office or move around like we used to every day. So we're just in the same premises, that short space, that the small space that we move around every day, we stay in that space. So there is less physical activity, and there is a drastic change that we have observed in our lifestyle. So like initially how we used to commute to the office, move around the office, just probably take a walk around, we don't do that as much as we used to do that before. So because of this change in lifestyle, it has affected our body, and because of this low physical activity, there are problems such as overweight and obesity. Another problem is that we faced while working from home is binge eating. So a lot of people do this, like they just indulge in binge eating while working, and they don't realize how they're harming their body, because there's no fixed routine and there's no fixed breaks that we take. So you think like when you're working from home, you can work continuously, and you tend to skip your small breaks, your coffee breaks, your short breaks, and sitting for hours together, you tend to put yourself at a risk of obesity. There's another thing, that the snacks are available in our kitchens at home, and we find ourselves munching all day. So this could lead to weight gain that might turn to obesity even before you realize. And obesity is one of the most common and major problems that we face in the world today. Talking about insulin resistance, insulin resistance is when the cells in your muscles, your fat, your liver don't respond well to insulin, and they cannot use glucose that is produced in your body from your blood for energy. So to make up for this, our pancreas start to produce more insulin, and our blood sugar levels go up. So in insulin resistance, our body does not respond to insulin. So while working from home, if there are a lot of changes in our body, like the waistline, the size of the waistline increases. That's like for men, the size of the waistline, when it increases more than 40 inches, and for women when it increases more than 35 inches, that means that you're putting yourself at a risk of obesity and insulin resistance and other complications related to metabolic syndrome. When your blood pressure is high, or maybe your triglyceride levels are very high, your good cholesterol, that is the HDL cholesterol in our body is the good cholesterol. When it goes low, that's like 40 mg per dl for men, if you know the values, 50 mg per dl for women. If it goes beyond this range, then you're putting yourself at a risk of insulin resistance. And in insulin resistance, another common symptom that we notice are patches of dark and velvety skin. So if you notice things like this and the symptoms like this, please get your blood tests done and get yourselves checked. So the cause for insulin resistance are inactive lifestyle, obesity, there's improper diet, sleep problems. All this is directly associated with our lifestyle that we are incorporating while working from home. So talking about increased cholesterol levels, when our physical activity decreases, there are other health complications that we develop. So when the physical activity decreases, the cholesterol levels in our body go up. There is improper diet. So when you tend to have an improper diet, probably when you eat foods which are high in saturated fats and trans fats. So trans fats are mostly the type of fats that you find in bakery products. When these fats are consumed instead of healthy unsaturated fats. So you should remember that saturated and trans fats are the bad fats for your body, which should not be consumed. And the healthy fats that are unsaturated fats, these should be consumed. So when we tend to consume saturated and trans fats instead of the unsaturated fats, that may lead to the increase in cholesterol levels. So there are also other health complications like diabetes and hypothyroidism, which might increase the cholesterol levels in the body.
Low energy level is one of the basic health complications which we face from working from home, which lays the basis for other health complications. When we address this problem at the initial level, we will be able to prevent other health complications. Low energy level means that it doesn't mean that you're eating a food of low quantity or low calories. It is the energy level you have in your body and mind. The mind level you will not be having very fresh because the environment is same, people is same, work is same. So there is a mental stress being inbuilt which reduces your energy level, though you consume energy required through food. Next is the muscle stiffness. Muscle stiffness happens when you are in one particular position for long hours. Usually, many people end up saying, I have a neck pain. This is because when your system and your neck is not in a line, because at home we don't have proper desk or chair to sit. We just accommodate in a place where what we get. We don't try to create an environment for us, which eventually invites other problems in our health, causing like a hand and wrist pains, joint pains, because of there is no symmetric in our position sitting. Maybe we'll have one side dragging and the other side elevated. So this imbalances will create muscle stiffness and pains. Next is the eating disorder. Eating disorder means one, we don't eat food on time. Like we might have calls on the particular food time, or we are not feeling hungry due to the delayed breakfast or lunch. So we try to skip the food time and eat on snacking, start snacking on the food. And most of us during work from home, we want to have a crispy, crunchy snacks to meet our stress level. Our stress actually ends up showing in eating the wrong food choices, which eventually increases the calorie consumption of the day, and also it will lead to obesity, which lays the basis for other health conditions. Next, hand and wrist pain and joint pain. Why you get many people would have felt by this time when you're working from home, my wrist is straining while holding the mouse, but you will never understand what is the cause of it. It is because of your wrong position. Your wrist is not supported on a right support. Anyways, when you're holding a mouse or a laptop, your wrist has to be rested on a flat surface. It should not keep hanging. When the wrist is paining, eventually it will have a neck pain. So do address these conditions and rectify it at the beginning level to prevent further health complications.
So let's have a look at the tips for us to stay healthy. So it's very important for us to set up a work schedule. So you need to clearly define your working hours. You might tend to overwork sometimes, which might have an adverse effect on your health. So you should define your work hours for the amount and the kind of work that you have. Define your working hours clearly. The way that you set your goals, your work hours should also be defined in that way, so that you don't strain your body, you don't strain your physical, mental health. One thing that you have to remember is to schedule your lunch and breaks. So while working from home, like I've constantly repeated, that we tend to skip our meals, skip our lunch and our coffee breaks and the short breaks that we take. So it's very important that you should schedule your lunch breaks, the lunch breaks and the normal breaks at regular intervals of time, because these breaks are very important for us to reduce the stress, and they also keep us focused in work. So when you take your breaks properly and you define your work schedule properly, then you might notice that your tasks get completed more accurately with fewer errors, and your productivity is very high. Keep a water bottle at your desk. You don't just have to keep a water bottle at your desk, you also have to take an effort to drink water very frequently. A lot of people, do not sip water frequently, and they tend to become dehydrated. For us to remain hydrated throughout the day, for our productivity of work to increase, it's very important to drink water frequently. So you can set alarms to remind yourself to drink water, because keeping yourself hydrated is very important. Dehydration might cause a lot of complications in your body when you're not able to work properly. So keeping yourself hydrated will help you to regulate your body temperature. It keeps your organ functioning proper. Water is the key element which delivers nutrients to the cells in our body. You might understand that for the delivery of the nutrients to the cells in our body, you have to consume the right amount of water. The keeping yourself hydrated also keeps your joints lubricated. So when you're working from home, like I've mentioned before, that you tend to sit in one place, and you also face a lot of joint pains and backaches and a lot of problems. So water helps to keep your joints lubricated. So it's very important for yourself to keep yourself hydrated. Drinking water also helps us to prevent infections. Another important thing is a ventilated workspace with enough light. We have noticed, in our offices, the workspace is well ventilated with proper design and architecture. But at home, working in a well ventilated room is very important, because it will be more comfortable for you to create a more relaxed environment. When you're ventilated, you can breathe properly, and you're confident, and you're in a much relaxed position where you can work in a much effective manner. So your work environment will be more productive if you're in a well ventilated workspace with enough light. Lighting also helps to lessen the strain on the human eyes while working. So it's very important for us to not sit down in a dark place with our laptops and work in a dark place, because that is eventually going to have an effect on your eyes. You also have to remember that you have to get up from your work desk, and move around very frequently, once in an hour at least, because your body, the muscles of your body, need that movement. It's very important that once in an hour, you should just get up from your workspace, just do some stretches, just move around a little, go pick up your snacks, just come back, and just try to move around more frequently, so that your level of physical activity increases a little.
In the tips to stay healthy, we have first one is planning our meal. First of all, we have to avoid binge eating. How we can do that? What we have to do, as we plan our day schedule, we should plan a week's food also ahead. Planning is more important, because if you plan ahead and purchase the required products, you'll have everything available to you, so that you will have a control over eating. For example, you're taking Monday, if I'm in the evening, I'm eating a chaat with murg puffed rice. Next day, I can eat a slice of a toast or a fruit smoothie. So you can make a schedule for it with the timing. So you have to be very committed also. If you're telling that you want to finish your breakfast by 8 to 9 or 9 to 10, finish it at any cost. This will prevent you from binge eating or developing a hunger pangs, which will eventually have a health complications. So have a timing for, though you're working from home. In office we have a particular timing for lunch, but at home no, we go at our own pace. So fix the timings for your breakfast, lunch and dinner, and also the in between snacking, and with a water timings. So when you fix all these timings, the meal timings, invariably you're getting up from your desk at that time, and never ever eat your food in front of the system, whatever the important things might be, keep it aside. So you can declare it, it is my meal timing, don't disturb. It is always a better option, because this eventually ends up in you eating a junk food which your mind craves for. When your body is literally deprived of energy and your brain doesn't have any, it's not very active or depressed, you will crave for foods, junk foods. So when you're in a craving position, if I offer you a fruit, nobody will eat. You want to eat something crunchy and which as per your taste. Like for example, few people have a passion for eating a chocolate when you're stressed. That's a high calorie. If it's one small piece of chocolate, okay. But do we resist ourselves eating, happy ourselves eating only one piece of chocolate? No. But if you plan your things that Monday I'm going to eat only this, Tuesday you're going to eat this, you cannot break your calendar. Things are available. You will be very cautious about what you eat, and also you will have a varied choices throughout the week if the planning is being done ahead. Make your time for work, for exercise. What does it mean? It's not meaning like gym is not available, I'm not going to exercise. No. Make yourself available, create a routine for you. Wake up at the right time. See, waking up at 6 o'clock and waking up at 8 o'clock makes a lot of difference. When you wake up at timing in the early hours, like say around 5 to 7, your mind will be very active. But when you wake up at 8 or 9, you feel, let me sleep for some more time. When you wake up also, you will not be actively involved in other activities. That is because of the lethargy that has been set in. Have a fixed time for sleep. You're going to sleep for 8 hours. Okay, that should be a very sound sleep. Whatever time you sleep, sleep for 8 hours. But still, I recommend you to wake up at 6 o'clock, and the remaining sleep, cover it in the rest of the day. Waking up at early in the mornings and the late makes a lot of difference. But due to certain unavoided situations like your work timings and the call timings, but try to inculcate the practice of waking up early and allotting a time for yourself in the exercise. Like, let it be morning or evening, or even in the evenings, like 8 o'clock. If you have a time, go for a short walk, do some stretches. Exercise means doing stretches also, which will help your muscle to recover from the injury you have built in. Doing this work, you're sitting in the same position and keeping yourself hydrated. As Hannah said, she said, have a bottle at desk. Yeah, it's a great idea. But few people will say, I'm bored of drinking water every time when I see water, the same taste, I'm bored of drinking it. So what I say is, every day have one infused water. For example, one day have water infused in a liter of water, just add a dash of lime to it and have it. And the same, once the water is done, refill it for the day. Use the same water throughout the day. Next day, go for a fruit of your choice. So 5 days have 5 different waters. So you will enjoy your water, and also you are hydrating yourself, which will prevent muscle injuries further. Dehydration is also one of the causes for muscle pain and muscle soreness. And trust, as I mentioned, the sleep timings, 8 hours is a must, but do have a schedule for it. Go to bed at 10 to 11, wake up at 4 to 6. Wonders will happen in your body. Sleep timings and sleeping hours is very, very important. Because many of us during the work from home, we watch movies in the late night. It's not because of the work we go to sleep late nights. We watch movies, we entertain ourselves to the maximum. We go to bed by 12 o'clock, wake up by 8 o'clock, where your breakfast time pushes to 10 o'clock. Then lunch time gets delayed. Sometimes due to calls, you cannot say to your boss, it's my lunch time. 2 o'clock. 2 o'clock is a lunchtime. It's not a lunchtime for any others, but for you. So either you eventually skip your lunch and go for ending up eating a snack, which is a high calorie, and it's also not good for your health. If you skip a meal, nobody opts to go for a salad or a healthy toast or anything. We just end up eating only fried snack. Then our dinner is get pushed up. Though we stay awake till like 12 o'clock or 1 o'clock, we again opt for a snacking option. So try to have a schedule for your day, which will help you in a great way.
So, talking about the ways to maintain physical fitness, it's very important for us to exercise daily because, like I've mentioned before, the level of physical activity has come down drastically for us. So, many forms of exercises that we can do without leaving the house can be done. So, for those who are, facing it the challenge to start off with a physical activity and for exercising, you can ideally aim for like 30 minutes of cardio session for 3 times a week. So when you start with 30 minutes for 3 times a week, you can slowly increase it. 30 minutes of cardio can include a lot of exercises like you can do yoga, you can do squats, spot jogging, you can do planks, jumping jacks, push-ups, skipping ropes, and all of this. These exercises that I've mentioned are very easy to do at home. So you can do it on your own and you'll start feeling better. And once you start off with those 30 minutes of cardio for 3 times a week, you can slowly move it to 4 times a week, 5 times a week, 6 times a week. So that will really help you and your body, and you will feel physically and mentally fresh. So a lot of people, just start off exercising without having some goal for themselves. So it's very important to set realistic exercise goals. So when a friend of yours just comes and tells you that I have started to exercise this, I'm doing this, I am working out for so much of time, and you feel motivated and you try to match up for that level. But see, and every individual's lifestyle, their work, their body is different, and all of us are made in a very unique and different way. So you have to listen to your body signals. You have to practice what you feel. You don't have to follow others for what you feel. Like basic things like exercising, also set realistic goals for yourself. If you can exercise less, it's better to try to exercise something. To try something is better than not doing anything at all. So you don't need anyone to tell you. You have to start off with setting the realistic exercise goals for yourself that you can achieve it. So when you set these realistic short time goals for yourself, when you achieve it, that will help you, and that is going to motivate you to do better. And you will know when to do more, and you will listen to your body more than anyone else, because remember that you know your body better than anybody else knows. So another important thing is to do stretches regularly. So when you're when you're working from your home, when you're at your desk, the exercises such as stretches and all of these are known as desk exercises. This is very important that you can just move a few inches from your desk and start off with a few basic stretches. So you need to get up from your desk, stretch and move around. So stretching helps to improve the posture of your body. It decreases the back pain. It decreases the muscle soreness that you feel while sitting in one place and working. It helps to calm your mind, and it releases the tension and the stress that you have. So you tend to feel more energized, and when you stretch, you automatically feel better. Talking about consumption of food on time, working from home, it creates a situation where you have long hours of work and you tend to skip your meals. So it's very important for you to set a schedule for yourself where you follow your timings and you do not skip your meals. In your office timings, you're having lunch at 1 p.m. Make sure that you get up from your desk at 1 p.m. and have your lunch. Remember not to skip your meals, because it's very important to fuel your body with the right foods at the right time. So that is why it's very important for you to consume your food on time, because your health is in your hands. If you're careless with your health, nobody is going to face these consequences. It's only you who's going to face these consequences. So when I'm saying that your health is in your hands, you are responsible to take care of yourself and your health. So it's very important for you to set up these intervals and take your breaks for snacks, and you have proper meals during lunch. One thing that people do is that since they're working from home, they just grab on something and have something. So it's very important that you just get up a little earlier and prepare something and keep it ready, so that you can just make it very quickly, and a lot of time is not spent in preparing a dish. So this preparing the dishes and preparing pre-preparation actually helps to keep your meal pattern in check. So avoiding snacking on junk foods. So like I've mentioned that our kitchens and our cupboards are filled with a lot of snacks at home, so we don't have that liberty in office. So we know when to sit and control, but when you're in your house, you just run to your kitchen, grab that packet of Lays or that chocos or whatever that you have. You just grab it and you would want to eat that one piece of chocolate that is left in the fridge. So you need to avoid snacking on these junk foods. See, a little quantity is fine, but when you're at home, when you have a lot of things around, you tend to overeat and you start consuming more junk foods. Because of these snacks that are available in the kitchen so frequently all the time, we tend to snack more on these junk foods. So in order to stay healthy, you need to prepare healthy snacks and store it and consume it throughout the day. So preparation of snacks and probably preparing the snacks which can be stored for consuming it at a later time in the day is very important. So inclusion of all food groups in your diet. Healthy eating pattern includes a variety of nutrient dense foods across and within all the food groups. Food groups like vegetables and fruits, you need to have 4 to 5 servings per day. For cereals and grains, 7 to 8 servings per day of cereals should be incorporated into your daily diet. Similarly, protein foods. Now talking about protein foods, the non-veg foods good quality protein includes chicken, eggs, meat, which are very high in protein. Simultaneously, you can also consume legumes, which are very high in protein. And these foods, the legumes, these protein foods can be eaten with 3 to 4 servings per week is recommended. So for dairy products, 2 to 3 servings distributed throughout the day can be consumed. Oil. So one serving of oil is 5 grams. So 2 to 3 servings per day of oil can be consumed. So for the food groups like nuts and seeds, 4 to 5 servings of nuts and seeds can be consumed per week. Talking about increase in consumption of immune boosting foods. So immunity, immune boosting foods, these are the terms that we hear very frequently every day because pandemic and the COVID-19 that we're facing. So the immune boosting foods like turmeric, they contain a lot of compounds. Like turmeric contains curcumin, which has anti-inflammatory and antioxidant properties. So you can consume turmeric in the form of turmeric milk, water with turmeric powder, and you can have ginger to treat nausea, cold, flu, and symptoms like that. So citrus fruits like oranges, amla, sweet lime, these are rich in vitamin C, and these can be consumed. Now vitamin C, you hear vitamin C very frequently outside. So what this vitamin C does is it boosts your immune system. This vitamin C present in this amla, oranges, and sweet lime, it acts against the free radicals in our body, which are dangerous to our body. So our body, the free radicals are some dangerous compounds for our body. So it acts and prevents the action of these free radicals. Another immune boosting food is tulsi. So tulsi has antibacterial, antiviral, antifungal properties. So eating fresh leaves of tulsi or consuming tulsi tea, tulsi water, it helps to keep the infections at bay. Another important immune boosting food is garlic. So garlic contains compounds that boost the immune system and helps to fight off against viruses that can cause cold, flu, and it can ward off all the infections. It helps to boost your immune system. When you chew or crush a garlic, the certain compounds are released which support your immune health. So it's a garlic, it's good to have a garlic by crushing and chewing it so that it releases these immune boosting compounds. Indulging in sports activities, like you can just pick up one favorite sport activity of yours and involve yourself in that. So this can help you to reach your fitness goals and it'll help you to maintain a healthy weight. So involving yourself in sports activities will improve your physical activity. It will reduce the risk of diseases. It will help you to sleep better, and your the functioning of your heart improves. Your confidence level automatically increases. It also helps to decrease stress and improve functioning of your lungs. Sports develops and improves people's physical, social, and organizational skills, which are beneficial in professional and personal life and must be obtained.
When we consider about physical fitness, an equal importance has to be laid on mental fitness also. How that mental fitness can be achieved? Allot some me time. Allot some me time. It means every day or alternate days. Whenever you feel yourself very low, do some activity which makes you enjoy. Like for example, not doing an activity for others. For example, few people will have a habit of painting. When they do painting, their mind gets activated and they feel so refreshed after doing the activity. It can be even a simple to simple cooking, reading a book, writing a story, or taking your pet outside for a walk can help you make you feel happy, because these activities which you feel make you happy will secrete the hormone called serotonin, which will relieve the stress. So you may not feel the boredom throughout the day. You might have so much of work stress. To overcome it, have some me time. It can be 30 minutes also, 15 minutes also, as per your schedule, but definitely have some time for yourself. Don't depend on your family, your kids, or parents. It's your personal time, and you will do the activity which you will enjoy doing it. And communicate to people and reach out to people when you're stressed. You feel there is one right person to reach out to them, discuss things. And you want to take on a call with your friends, weekend calls with your friends, do it, because that will keep you active throughout next week. Your mind will stay fresh because you will cherish a lot of memories speaking with your whom you feel your best friends, or your family members can also serve the purpose. But be have a set of people to discuss things with you. So next, practice meditation. When I say practice meditation, if I say today, tomorrow, if you start, you will not find easy to sit in one place for 5 to 10 minutes. But this will take at least 5 to 6 days for you to bring into your routine of sitting in a place of 15 minutes and just quietly close your eyes and sit in a very calm, noise-free environment and bring yourself and do deep breathing. This will also help to improve your lung capacity, and the oxygen you take in through deep breathing will give you your mind will get refreshed after you finish it. So when you do morning 10 minutes of meditation every day, next to 8 to 9 hours, your mind is going to stay fresh. And also, if you see the rhythm of breathing, it's going to be even throughout the day. When the rhythm of the breathing is affected, you'll have all the illnesses related to your respiratory system. So meditation doesn't not even relieve your mental fitness, but also your inner health is taken care of. So when you practice meditation, do deep breathing simultaneously. But I tell you, it's very difficult for you to sit for meditation for initial 5 to 6 days. But after 6 days, you will be taking class how you felt to others. You will be masters of it. So you need not go to meditation center or to any specific person to learn that. You just sit in a place calm, quietly, without any noise. Close your eyes and feel your dreams. That's the way you can feel yourself and read yourself and release from mental stress. Next, having some indoor plants. Uh, I suggest you, when you set up your work environment, please suggest set it in an environment where the colors are very light and cool colors. Cool colors in the sense like colors in the shades of blue are called cool colors, and green is called a neutral color. Anything in the shade of red, orange are called hot colors. Colors play a very important role when setting your mental fitness. So you can see, when you can experience it yourself. Sit in front of a red color and sit in front of a blue color for some time, 30 minutes, and see how your mind gets wavered. You can feel the difference yourself. So always set your environment in a cool colors. If not, a white will be a best environment. A white can be brought up through a proper lighting and the background also. And having an indoor plant at your desk will increase the supply of your oxygen also. Whenever you see a fresh, lively thing in front of you, you will feel energized. Even though you feel boredom or you feel very low due to some meetings or discussion that has happened just a few minutes back, this plant can revive your energy back. So try having indoor plant at your desk. A small plant will do. It not be a huge pot in your room. Just a small plant. Maybe once in a week or twice in a week, you can just Go put in your plant under the sunlight for 1 or 2 hours for that to recover it. Other time you can have it in your desk. Just you can feel the watering and the way the plant is cherishing. You will also grow with it and engage in different activities of after your work timings. This is alerting a me time also include, but also don't have the same activity every day in and out. You keep on changing as per your wish. If you're happy with one activity, it's well and good. If you're not, change it to the other activity. Keep yourself happy always. And develop a schedule which include phases of work, like from morning 8 o'clock or 7 o'clock you're starting your day till 11 o'clock. You note down what are all things you're doing in a diary, and you identify things which causes stress in you and try to sort it out, because prolonged stress might have an impact on your heart health. So have a schedule, formulate a diary. If something is not working for you, change it. Keep on changing it unless and until you're comfortable with your environment and your mind is very happy. So when you go to bed at today's thing, you should feel happy. You should not feel like a sleepless night because of the stress. So whatever is happening throughout the day, forget it. Spend that negative energy in some kind of an activity which will help to build you a positive vibes in you. This way it will help to keep your mental fitness in a very, very good phase.
Thank you, Devi and Hannah, for such an informative session. Well, Devi and Hannah, we have few questions from our audience that I will read out to you so that you can answer them. So our first question is, could you suggest the ways to prevent mental health issues with binge eating in the layman terms?
Binge eating means what I say is eating at a wrong time and a wrong food. So binge eating can be avoided is planning a schedule for you and eating your meals on time. If you are going for a lunch time, finish your lunch. Even though you're not hungry, you feel hungry and then eating a food is the right option. But every day it will not happen. No, you will not feel, I'm not hungry, I don't want to eat my food. So even if it crosses 3 o'clock, if you're avoiding your lunch, skip your lunch but balance the calories in the evening snack. For example, if you're eating a rice, dal and vegetable for your lunch, but due to unavoidable situation you're skipping, I would suggest not to skip. Either your meeting timings, keep your lunch timing prior to the meetings, eat little food and then sit back to your meeting. But in rare scenario, if you avoid that lunch, plan your evening snack in a balanced way. Like for example, if you're having a sprout, you can have a sprout with a slice of a toast and a glass of a fruit juice, which will be equivalent in balancing all the it will be balanced nutritionally in all the ways, equivalent to your lunch, so that your body is also nourished.
Thank you, Devi. Our next question is, people suffering from anxiety disorder, it is people who are suffering from anxiety disorder has tendency to sleep deprived. So any suggestions to prevent this anxiety because of the current COVID situation?
Yeah, so yes, in this situation, a lot of people feel anxious and they do not, sleep properly, and there is a lot of disturbance in the sleep. So this disturbance in sleep can, is mainly because of a few things. The few tips that I will point out. The first important thing is to avoid the person to avoid sleep disturbance is to avoid skipping meals. So skipping meals is a very one of the very important points to note down, which is related to your sleep disturbance. Another important thing is to practice mindfulness. So mindfulness is listening to your body and paying attention to how you feel. So when you know your body signals, you will be able to plan a proper schedule. So you should also remember to stay hydrated, because being dehydrated is one thing that may cause sleep disturbances. And for your anxiety, to reduce your anxiety and to calm yourself in these times, you can try yoga and meditation. So yoga and meditation have a lot of benefits which are very good for your body, and they help to calm us down and prevent this sleep disturbance. Another important thing is that you should eat more fiber, because by eating more fiber you tend to feel fuller for a longer time. So when you're fuller, you don't usually wake up in the middle of the night, and you don't have these disturbance in the sleep. So practice all these few tips that like I've given, like yoga, meditation, staying hydrated, eating more fiber, and not skipping your meals, and this will help you to lessen your anxiety disorders.
Our next question is regarding healthy snacking options. Like, we are working from home and we often feel hungry. So we generally eat any, fried things or anything that we find nearby. So can you provide some healthy snacking options that can be substituted?
Yeah, when basically why your hunger peaks is your previous meal is not rich in fiber or protein. It is full of simple carbohydrate. For example, right now since we are working from home and we are at home itself and eating with the family, many of you can analyze yourself how much quantity of rice you are eating when you are going to office and at home. The quantity of rice you are eating is going to be more, and the vegetable and the dal or thing quantity is going to be reduced, which will make you feel hungry in another 2 3 hours after your meal. So basically your meal is not balanced. One answer. What is the thing, how can I balance with the snacking option is, maybe you can go for a fruits, boiled sprouts, or you can make your own chart at your home with sprouts, or any or a glass of juice. You can prepare your smoothies with nuts, or you can make a dry fruit nuts bar. Instead of going and buying it outside, you can make it at your home. And you can offer also popcorns. But when you are using popcorns, I suggest you to avoid air fryers. Air fryers are also got its own complications on the health. Please avoid it. Go use for the normal microwave popcorns.
Thank you, Devi. Our next question is regarding sugar cravings. If someone gets them, how they can stop sugar cravings?
So for to yeah, so sugar, a lot of people face this issue of sugar cravings. So in order to reduce your sugar cravings, a person can have fruits and berries as an alternative, and they can also consume dark chocolate. One piece of dark chocolate also helps to cut down your sugar cravings. And a person can consume chia seeds. These chia seeds are rich in omega-3 fatty acids, and they have a dietary fiber known as soluble dietary fiber. So this soluble dietary fiber, it helps to keep us full, and it also helps us to prevent these sugar cravings.
Thanks, Hannah. Our next question is, how do we know when we get dehydrated? What are the signs that we should look out for?
When we get dehydrated, is first sign is our lips get dry. First, the foremost thing is our lips get dry. And second, you will develop a muscle pain. This muscle pain is, you'll have a pain in the calves or stiffness, those kind of things you develop. Worst and worst situation is you will have a headache. Not the headache in the forehead, at the backside of your head, you'll have a headache. Sometimes people will say it is like a kind of spondylitis pain and all. No, it is dehydration. Once you drink water, it will set back to the normal. So in order to avoid dehydration, you can have water. Add on to water, you can consume fruit infused waters. You can have lime juices. You can have buttermilk, tender coconut water. Apart from this, still, if you feel dehydrated, every day in 1 liter of water, you can add 1 teaspoon of basil seeds. Kindly note the basil sabja seeds, they are different from chia seeds. This basil seed, you can add it with 1 teaspoon to water and consume it throughout the day. It will keep you hydrated and it will prevent dehydration. So ideally, I would recommend people to drink now 2 to 3 liters. Though we are staying at indoors, we don't step out. But whatever the water required by the body has to be provided at any situation.
Thank you, Devi. Next question is, how to reduce sweet cravings that we get immediately after eating meal?
Yeah. So in order to reduce the sweet cravings that we experience immediately after having a meal, you should remember to have a filling meal. So when you eat a healthy and a filling meal, you naturally, your sugar cravings and your cravings for other things will cut down. So to also reduce sugar cravings immediately after meal, you can also drink water. So drinking more water will help to cut down your sugar cravings. And also you can include more protein in the food that you eat, because eating more protein will help you to cut down your sugar cravings. And normally sugar cravings are also due to the stress that we face. So you need to calm yourself down, meditate, go for a walk, and practice deep breathing exercises, which will help you to cut down your sugar cravings.
Thank you, Hannah. And our next question is how to stay hydrated while working from home, as we know water intake may reduces because we are busy with work and we often forget about drinking water. So can you share some tips on staying hydrated?
Yeah, I think we have already answered this question, but still we will enlighten about it. I said since we should look out for different sources of water. Hydration means it's all not only water; it can be any different form of liquid. Either it can be your soup also can be a ways to hydrate yourself. Your soups, fruit juices. When I mean fruit juices, I say that don't make it go for a homemade fruit juices and don't strain it. Buttermilk, tender coconut water, or a plain coconut water if you feel, or a water with lime will do for you.
All right. Thank you, Devi and Hannah, for such an informative session on this. We have just got one more question. In vegetarian, what foods have more protein and fiber other than paneer and tofu?
In vegetarian foods, if you find the protein and the fiber foods, protein will be provided by all your pulses and dals and milk products. As you suggested, apart from paneer and tofu, a simple protein-rich food will be a milk and the homemade curd and lentils. But when you say dals and pulses, when you take a whole pulses, I would suggest you to sprout the pulses, because the protein availability to the body is increased when you use it in the form of sprouts. For example, when you eat plain dal or pulses, the protein absorption in our body is only 80%. But when you sprout it, the digestibility will increase and the protein absorption rate goes up to 96%. So you need not worry. So it is advisable to get the complete protein benefit from the pulses or dal sprouted. Split dals you cannot sprout. Try to use whole dals like whole moong, whole chana. Those things can be very well sprouted. And nuts also will provide the required amount of protein and good fats. When coming to the fiber, vegetable is a very ideal source of fiber, and whole cereals. Like example, unpolished wheat, brown rice, red rice, those are very rich in fiber. If you eat in one meal, you could feel the difference of eating a white rice and a brown rice, or a red rice, for example. So when you're making a atta also, buy the whole wheat and make a flour on your own. Don't buy the ready-made flours, because they are all, though they claim it as fiber, they are all devoid of fiber. It's almost been polished. So this is the ways you can increase your fiber, and inclusion of green leafy vegetables at least weekly, thrice in a week.
All right. We have got one more question. Are there benefits of drinking warm water as compared to drinking cold water?
Yes, there are benefits of warm water is better when compared to cold water, because drinking warm water will improve the circulation in your body. So when you improve your circulation of your body, it also helps in a lot of other things like decreasing your stress levels, and it may also uh, aid in weight loss. When your circulation is right, it also helps in a lot of the normal functioning of your body. Besides this, it will also help you to relieve your nasal congestion. So a cup of hot water will create the steam, because of which the nasal congestion will get relieved, and it also aids in digestion, and it helps to relieve the constipation, and these problems will get improved.
All right. We have one more question here. Person wants to know on warm water, honey, and lemon consumption. Can you describe the benefits of consuming it?
Consuming warm water, honey and lemon, if you see the combination, it is lemon, it's a citrus fruit. It will help to detoxify the body. So honey and lemon, when combined, it helps to remove the toxins from your body. When the toxins are removed from your body, your metabolism goes up. Your metabolic rate will increase. Thereby, the fat burning process is also stimulated, which will aid in fat loss. But this doesn't mean that if you have a honey, hot water, and lemon, I will have a fat loss. Add on to this, you should follow a balanced meal also. So it basically detoxes your body.
Thank you, Devi and Hana. I hope we have answered all the queries. So before we move on, I would like our audience to know about the Fit Indian services. The Fit Indian provides you with the customized diet plan and fitness plan. When you visit www.fitindian.com or our app, you have to add your details like name, age, weight, height, health complications, and many more. Based on that, our nutritionist and fitness trainer they assess your health and provide you with the customized diet plan and fitness workout plan. You can see on the screen we have a few plans that you can book your consultation for. So moving on, for more information you can log on to www.thefitindian.com. If you have any queries, do visit the site and drop us a query there. We will get back to you on it. I hope you all have enjoyed this session. I would request you all to fill this survey form. You all will get this through emails. It will be glad if you fill the surveys because it will help us to improve the way we have presented. And we would also like to know the topics that you want us to come up with in our next webinar. Thank you everyone for being here. Thank you for sparing your time. Thank you, Devi and Hana.
Thank you all for being an active participant.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone. Stay tuned for our next webinar.